Hey nerds, welcome back to another episode here on the Feed the Beast world. This is actually my second time recording this video because I didn't have enough space on my hard drive and I didn't notice that I wasn't even recording anymore. So I was just there rambling on. I'm quite glad actually because I rambled for a long time about bees. Seriously, once you get me started on bees, I'm gone. And I don't even explain it very well either. Let me just get some bread. Thankfully though, we still have some stuff we can do. I didn't do too much. As I said, I just rambled for ages. I'm going to take some of this coal quickly and shove it in the furnaces. We really need to look at upgrading this power supply soon. And that's kind of what I was talking about before with the bees. And I'm jumping ahead of myself here, so I'll explain that in a bit. Okay, right. There we go. So, it's been a while since I was last on this world. It's been a while since you saw it. Last time we were on top of this mountain making bees, and it didn't take me long to realise how impractical having my bees on top of a mountain. Every time I'd come, I'd have to climb up this flipping mountain, and I just got fed up of it, so I moved them down there. And you may be able to see something I mentioned last episode. We are being overrun with flowers slowly. Flowers of all kinds are spawning all around me. I'm going to quickly sleep before the night terrors come. I think I'm on... Oops. I think I might be on peaceful, because I was working a bit in a creative world. Oh no, I'm not on peaceful. I remember now. Yeah, I'm on hard. Good, good, good. So, here we are in the bee area I've kind of created. This is going to be my honey farm soon enough. We were running low on honey last episode, as you saw. Now we're doing quite well for it. No new combs at the moment. So what I've got here, so last episode we were trying to get a common drone, if I remember correctly. I've got that. I've got the common queen and a whole bunch of common drones, and these just cycle automatically now. So when that bee dies, it gets sucked out from this wooden pipe, goes down here into this diamond pipe where it is sorted. The drones go back in. The drone and the princess go back into the apiary. The combs come out, and it's that simple. When this eventually fills up, like 64, I'm going to have to start making it so that one drone goes down here and another drone goes in. I think this only gives me two drones each time, so I have to separate them so that one goes that way and one goes that way so they don't start spewing out everywhere. We've also managed to get ourselves a cultivated queen. I think we've got a couple of them actually. We've got another cultivated queen there, and this is a cultivated queen. Now the reason that these two here are like looping automatically is because they're ready to be automated. This one is not yet, and the reason is because the drones that this one will give me, you might see it in a minute, they won't stack. Now, as what we want from a bee is we want it to produce drones that stack before we can then start mass producing and automating that bee. So when this dies, it's probably going to give us two individual different bees. And the way that the diamond pipes work is each bee is unique. Like the little code it's got is unique. I'm not sure if we can... No, we can't see it demonstrated there. But basically, what it means is... there you go, see, it didn't stack. So what I've got to keep doing is manually putting them back in until eventually it does produce something that does stack. And what's happened there is the little statistics that we get from the BeeElizer, like the shortest, slowest flowers, stuff like that. It differs from bee to bee. So as we saw there, you'll see some things change here. So we saw speed change from slowest to slower. That basically means that those bees won't stack. Whereas if I get two of these bees, I'm rambling again. I know I am. I'm going to stop as soon as I demonstrate this. These bees here will be exactly the same. See what I mean? So that's what we're looking for when I say that we want bees to stack. And until they do, we cannot automate it, which is why these are set to on, and this one is still set to off. And with that out the way, finally out the way, we can get on with the episode. So, my main goal for bees is to obviously mass produce like a bunch of resources like iron and diamonds and stuff, like I've told you about. Oops, dropped something on the floor. However, the goal that I want to achieve first, like the main goal for the now, like I just mentioned earlier, was to upgrade my power supply. And the way I'm going to do that is by going down one of the bee trees. Like the bee trees are like the different paths that you go. So you breed two bees together, It gives you this one, and then you breed that bee with another one. It gives you another one. Kind of like goes like down branches down the bee line. It gets very confusing. There's like 1,000 different paths you can go down. And what I'm looking for is, I can't remember what they're called now. Like it's like it produces an oily comb. Anyway, that's what we're looking for, is the oily comb. Okay, I apologize for that interruption there. Someone came into my room. I'm just waiting for the sun to set so I can finally go to sleep, because bees don't work at night unless you make them. So once this finally goes down, it's taking its sweet time. Let's try now. We can get to work on what I was saying before I was interrupted. So what I want to do is I want to make a power supply that's run on bees. And to do that, I need a refined bee. I looked it up and found out what bee it was I needed. And that produces the oily comb and the petroleum comb. The petroleum comb is used for biogas, if I remember correctly. And the oily comb is obviously used for oil, which is used for fuel. We will then pump that fuel into a steam boiler. We will then suck the steam out, stick it into a steam dynamo, which is here, which will turn it into red power. And then we can use red power converters, I think, to redstone flux, sorry, to turn it into other power supplies. And we can do that by using a mod called power converters, which I added to the mod pack because it wasn't here already. There we go. And then that will be a really good power supply for us because it never ends. And to do that, I need to start breeding down the different branches. I can't remember if I explained this in this episode or the last episode, but basically branches of the bees starts with the forest and the meadows, then goes to the common, the cultivated, and then it starts to split up. Then we start breeding the common with the cultivated, we get some different type of bee, then we start mixing that with another one, we get a different type of bee, and it just keeps going and going and going. So, to start this off, we are going to need ourselves a diligent bee, and to do that we have to mix together a common and cultivated, but I already seem to have a diligent... we've already got a diligent princess and a diligent drone. So this could be a lot quicker than I thought it was. And basically we need to wait for this to finish before we can move on. So this is where the time really starts taking. So I've got to mix this. So I've got to mix the common and the cultivated to get this one. I then have to mix this with a unweary bee. Then I have to mix the to get an industrious bee. Then I have to use the industrious bee. I have to mix that with a... Let me just find it here. Where are you? I've got to mix the industrious bee with the oily bee, and to get the oily bee I have to do a primeval and ocean. To get the primeval I have to do ancient and noble. To get the ancient I have to do noble and diligent. To get the noble I have to do common and cultivated, and it becomes a big mess like that, and it quickly gets really out of hand unless you keep on top of it. So this is how we do it for now. Obviously in later days when we get the bee DNA and stuff, we can start injecting DNA into something instead of having to wait for it to breed naturally, and that becomes very helpful there. And while that's sorting itself out, I'm going to go on a quick run to try and find some more princesses, because I only have 2 of them left and I kind of want to keep them how they are. So I'm going to go run around and try and find some princesses while that's doing its thing, and then I will be back. Okay, so that wasn't the most successful of runs that I've ever had, but we managed to get another 3 princesses. We got a forest and 2 meadows. So in the end, not the end of the world, not the worst case. However, this seems to have gone very well. As we can see, these 2 bees here are stacked, so that implies that something is good here. That's a diligent. Yeah, we got ourselves a pure diligent bee. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this out of here for now. And I'm going to stick him in there. And he's going to breed me some diligent babies. That one there and that. He's going to breed me some diligent babies, and then I can use the drones that he creates. So obviously, as you see here, I can then take some of these out and I can use them to make myself some more pure cultivated princesses. So that's what I'll do with this. I'll let this breed up a bit, and then I'll use the drones from that to make another princess, to save me having to waste the princess I've got now. So I've always got kind of like a backup to fall back on. So that's going to take some time. And I do think I've rambled enough already for this episode. It's been quite a long-winded one, I should say. I'm actually going to just, before I finish, going to stick that with... Let me see what this is, actually. Stick that there. That's a noble diligent. Yeah, I'm going to mix it with a common. That probably won't work, but it might. I just want to quickly check what this is. Cultivated meadows. Okay. So anyway, guys, like I was just saying, this has been an interesting episode, kind of like it's laying the groundwork for what's to come, which will be good. So it's kind of like a filler episode. Think of it as that. I hope you enjoyed it regardless. And yeah, I will see you in the next episode. I didn't actually have a plan for this one, by the way, which is kind of why it's been a little bit all over the place. The next episode I do have a plan for. So look forward to that, and I will see you then. Goodbye.